What's up, everybody? Welcome to the wow! We have our first member. I didn't even advertise. I didn't even say anything. Thank you, C. Franson04 for being a member. Incredible. Welcome to the Tyranid Army List review show here on Hive Mind Hobbies. So glad that you are all here. I hope you're doing well. Let's see if this light does anything. Bam! I'm sure that the stream quality exponentially rose as soon as I turned on that small light. But anyways, on this stream, we talk about Tyranid Army lists. And all of these lists are submitted by the community here at Hive Mind Hobbies. If you would like to submit your Tyranid list, go ahead onto this channel that you're on right now. Go ahead and click subscribe on there. Then on our community page, you will see, in fact, I will go right here and I will show you, Bapa-booey, right here. There's a post on this channel. For some reason, you can't see my mouse. There it is. And it says, submit your list here. Yada, yada, yada. And then each time I do this stream, I sort by new. And then I select the oldest list. Unless you are a member, then you do get a little bit of priority. Like C-Fran might be able to. Did I fix my chair? No, I did not. I did not fix my chair. I'm going to let you know I'm probably not fixing the chair. That is just going to be a project that maybe I just buy a new chair some point in time. We do, for the first time on this channel, are going to have a super chat goal that C-Fran has so expertly donated to already. If we reach 10 super chats of any kind or 5 memberships, because I'm having members count as 2, I will scoop up 5 more lists. So C-Fran, since you're a member and you just submitted a list, I don't know where you submitted your list though. I'll find it. But if we reach that goal, then C-Fran, I'll scoop your list first. Is Foot Prime good? I've been very busy, but I am currently in the process of editing a video talking about that exact subject. I don't think so, but I'll go in depth with my thoughts. I think he's bad, right? I think if he was 40 points, I'd be excited. Which like 40 points seems like a crazy number to have him at, but I don't think it is. If he was 40 points, then I would take him. But like 85 points, chat, you know what unit I will be taking for 85 points besides the Tyranid Foot Prime. What's up, Reed? Great to see you. Anyways, our first list is by Evan Coburn, a member. Thank you so much for your support, man. Really, really appreciate it. I think he could be cool for less points, but I'm serious. I think like 55 points, and I would be excited. But here we are. Evan says, hey Jordan, thanks for taking a look at this list. I'm trying to expand the repertoire to include Assimilation Swarm. My thought with this is to have the Tyrants, Guard, and Zoanthropes move up the center, occupied by a Psychophage and a Pyrovore. I'd appreciate your thoughts on the list and strategy. I think Assimilation Swarm is sweet. I think if I were to have some more Pyrovores and buy like 6 more Tyrant Guard, I would be running more Assimilation Swarm. Let's take a look at what he's got. He's got Hive Tyrant with Instinctive Defense and Neurotyrant with Biophagic Flow. I think like an Assimilation Swarm that these two are just like auto buys, right? Like I think you just have these two. Instinctive Defense with the Tyrant Guard means you fight first if you're next to a Harvester unit, which odds are you should be, right? And then the Biophagic Flow just allowing for your regrow aura to be, I think, 9 inches instead of 6 is really good as well. Then we have gargoyles and 2x10 Hormigaunt squads. And I've also, like, on a lot of different detachments, I think Vanguard onslaught being kind of the outlier, I think this is the correct number of gaunts right now. Like 2x10 Hormigaunts for like a standard list. Like if you're going to skew in some way, then of course those number changes. But 2 Hormigaunts and 1 gargoyle squad seems pretty good because the gargoyles can still come down, shoot and scoot, and get into some crazy places. And the Hormigaunts actually are really good. I really like them. And I have 10 unpainted Hormigaunts right here on my desk. I'm excited when I get around to it, but so really good start with the list so far. I like it. Biovore, double Haruspex, a Maleceptor, a Neurolictor, Psychophage, 2x2 Pyrovores, 1 Tyranid with Rupture Cannon, 6 Tyrant Guard, and 6 Zoanthropes. Dude, I think this is sick. Honestly, I think this is really kind of good. I think this is great. I'm also looking for something to run tomorrow on WNW. I think I was going to do Subterranean Assault, but I don't know. Maybe Assimilation Swarm is kind of sweet. I'm playing against Sisters, so I don't know. So the only thing that I'm like scratching my head at that I don't love, right, is the fact that we only have 1 lone operative. I think there's an argument to have, like, what's more important for you? 2 Hormigaunt squads or 2 lone ops? Because in my opinion, you could just drop the Hormigaunts, drop 1 Hormigaunt squad, and then add a Lictor, and that would be sweet. I'm going to go edit for next episode. Okay. When I saw Prime data sheet, I wanted to throw him in swarms of homies, but points cost was much higher. Yeah, he's 85 points, folks. Like, right? Like, I think his ability is... I'm not a fan of his ability. There's a couple of different things, and I'm releasing a video maybe tonight, probably not tonight, probably Thursday. I'm releasing a video on it where, like, my thing is, like, Blood Surge is way too easy to play around, right? And all of our units, I mean, if you put them in Hormigaunts, then and there's 20 of them, sure, and you Blood Surge into combat, that's cool, right? I mean, I guess. But, like, Tyranid Warriors, I don't think any of them are really going to be alive after that. You know, I think they just die. And for 85 points, when the Winged Prime is 65, I think there's an imbalance there. I don't think there's a good connection. Like I'm not a fan. I'm a hater. I'm drinking Haterade. Okay, yeah, who is this? Evan. This seems sweet, man. I really like this list. I think the only thing is, you know, play this list 5 times. But really think about, do you need a second lone op? I would probably want a second lone op. But we'll see. Like if you dropped Hormigaunts for a Lictor, that's my knee-jerk reaction to do that. But I could also see an argument to just keep it as is and just kind of go from there. Also, I'm interested with like the weapon option for Tyrant Guard. I think Tyrant Guard weapons are just terrible. So I guess the Crushing Claws is good, right? But I think there's kind of an argument to have the Scything Talons ones because it just has a whole bunch of attacks, and then in Assimilation Swarm you can do the lethal strat. Like in your Hive Tyrant can do that for free, right? You just discount that, and then you have a whole bunch of attacks. You just get it. But this is sweet. This list makes me want to play Assimilation Swarm, right? Like 4 Pyrovores, 2 Psychophages, 2 Haruspexes. A Maleceptor, I think, is great. Assimilation Swarm, too, because it's like back-breaking to regen. Very cool stuff. So, yeah, try it out and see if you want to swap Hormigaunts for a Lictor and then kind of go from there. But thank you again, Evan, for supporting the channel. And, the army name is Love at First Bite. So, of course, he is the first list to go. But I do think that this is... well, of course, it's number 1 in the list name already, you know? But it's a pretty good list name. That's funny. We got Mark Seldo. He's got a Vanguard onslaught list. This is our first non-member. Let's catch up with chat a little bit. Xenosayan said, I played an Assimilation Swarm guy who got a lot of use of Venomthropes with his Zoanthropes. Kept them alive longer than they should have. I think that I'm worried about like zoanthropes is they're just gonna die, and they're more of like a scalpel, like they're gonna shoot something, hopefully kill it, and then like you have to find tough angles with zoanthropes, and that's why I like them in Subterranean Assault, because they can pop up a bunch of different areas. But it's like the argument, like, should you spend points to buff things that are not, or sorry, to make things more durable that aren't durable? And I think there's an argument that no, if those things aren't durable, unless there's like a crazy combo you can put in, maybe buff them in different ways. But if you're having success with it, then Venomthropes next to the Zoanthropes, that seems pretty sweet. Reed played in your first RTT on Sunday. Dropped an X. Oh, you went 1-2. Nice. Lost to Death Guard and Custodes, but won against Necrons. Dude, Necrons are nasty right now. Necrons are very tough. So congrats on the W, and congrats on your first RTT, man. Once you get like one tournament down, you're like, okay, I'm an expert at this. That's easy peasy stuff. But yeah. Anyways, Mark's Vanguard onslaught list. Man after my own heart. I love this detachment. 2,000 points. We have Swarmlord, 2 Broodlords, a Narrow Tyrant, a Flyrant. He's double Hive Tyrant. 2x10 Hormigons, Biovore. 2x10 Gene Stealers. 3 Lictors. 2 Neurolictors. 2 Trigons. And 1x3 Von Ryans. Okay. Very cool. So I think in like Vanguard Onslaught, like the steak and potatoes of your list, I think should have these units, right? So like if I was ranking this, right, I think your best units in Vanguard Onslaught are probably like, well, first you want 3 Lictors. Like I think 3 to 4 Lictors is your number one. Boom. That's like your number one thing to start building a list. 3 to 4 Lictors. Then it's like 2 10-man squads of Genes. And those are with the Broodlord. I really think that Gene Stealers are quite strong. Then it's 1 to 2 10-man Raveners, I would think. You know? Then Winged Tyrant. Tyranid Warriors. And then like Gargoyles. And maybe Gargoyles are before Tyranid Warriors, actually. Like some kind of objective control play. Like some kind of OC bomb. Right? And that's kind of where I think. In my order of Lictors, I often do 3 regular Lictors and then Death Leaper. And then at the end, I might be looking at Neurolictors, depending on enhancements or depending on other things like that. I think Neurolictors are good in Vanguard Onslaught, right? They can advance and charge if they want to position themselves better. There's a lot of Battle Shock shenanigans within the detachment, so that is good as well. But I don't know, Lictor being at 60 points and doing what it does, and a Neurolictor being at 70 points doing what it does, I still think there's a toss-up between the two, right? Because the Battle Shock ability of the Neurolictor is just so ill-timed that I'm not in love with it. I think Trigons are sweet. I think Trigons are very, very cool, and advancing and charging seems awesome. However, I also don't really think that they benefit too much from Vanguard Onslaught. Like, they can advance and charge, but them being monsters and not being able to go through walls and stuff seems pretty tough. And, like, they essentially, in my opinion, don't have a data sheet ability, because, like, you can deep strike things 6 inches away, right? But, like, if you can't charge after you get out of that, you can't really do anything. And then your opponent is just able to shoot at your Trigon. And it only has a 3-up save, right? So Trigons die pretty quick. What's up, One True Dark Soul? Good to see you, man. So, like, my opinion, I don't love them too much. Here's what I would do with this list. And I think the double Hive Tyrant thing is very ballsy. Like, that's super cool. But I think you pick one, right? In my opinion, I'm probably going to pick Swarmlord. I think Swarmlord's 220 points, right? So if I were to sculpt this list, right? I'm going to drop Swarmlord and I'm going to drop the Trigons. So that's 500 points. Jeez. Like, Trigons are really cool. And if you're having good success with Trigons, dude, use the Trigons, man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be always 100% what I'm saying all the time. Like, the core of your list is kind of cool. Like, I also don't mind Hormagaunts. Hormagaunts are basically Vanguard Invader units, if you think about it, because they have advance and charge. They can fall back and charge natively because of the detachment. I also kind of do like one squad of Von Ryan's Leapers. It's just kind of like some shenanigans. So we have 500 points there. Let's see. I'm also not like a huge fan of Neurotyrant. I oftentimes go, I would rather Neurogaunts and another Lictor. I mean, in this scenario, obviously we cannot have another Lictor, but man, it's been crazy. I did a purge of all of my lists, and I only have one. I only have one list right now. It's Gene Stealer Cult list, which is that's blasphemy, isn't it, on this channel? So if we do Hyperdepth Raveners and Raveners, that's 290 points. And if we take a look at Tyranid Warriors, and then the Prime. So I'm seeing if you can do, it's 505. Dang it. Did I do that correctly? Swarmlet's 220 points. And then, yeah, unfortunately, we're like 5 points over. This is 70. Okay, so what I was really wanting to add was a 10-man Ravener squad. And then, Tyranid Warriors with Prime. So you could play around with this. You could also, I think 10-man Warriors with Prime is almost exactly the same cost. It's pretty close as the 10 Gene Stealers with the Broodlord. So if you just converted these Von Ryans to Hormagaunts, that would be pretty easy change like that. You could also just, if we drop the Neurolictor, we would have 65 points after that. You could also just get another squad of Hormagaunts. There's a lot of things you can do. I think what this list needed was just a little bit more punch, right? So like if you try fitting some Raveners in, I think Raveners are probably the strongest unit in Vanguard. Onslaught, Raveners and the 10-man Gene Stealer squad are very, very close together, I think. But yeah, that's kind of where I would go with it. I think the double Tyrant is pretty good, but it's just so many points. Like you're spending 400 points on command points. Like they do support in other ways, but I don't think they do enough damage, enough punch to really allow for a fifth of your list to be taken up by Hype Tyrants. So that's kind of the direction that I would take. What's the best proxy for Raveners? Are you talking like 3D print, or are you talking like a Tyranid model to use as a proxy? Because I don't know what the best 3D print is. But yeah, Mark Seldo, thank you for submitting your list, and I hope my comments were good for you. I think Von Ryan's Leapers are good, right? When in doubt, just put a Von Ryan Leaper on the correct base and tell your opponent it's fill in the blank, you know? Yeah, but what are you talking about, Max? Are you talking about like a GW product, or are you talking about like a 3D proxy? KS Ander. He says, "Hi there, Jordan. Glad you brought back the list review. I absolutely loved your video about setting 3 Norn emissaries with Crusher Stampede. Awesome. But I have a question. If I remove either of Exocrines and replace with 2 squads of Hormagaunts, would it be better against World Leaders Tau and Admech? Playing a competitive game this Saturday against my friends with those armies. Any chances appreciated." You want to play some games with Raveners? I would probably do like Von Ryan's Leapers are pretty good. You know, do we want to take a stroll down Etsy Lane and see what they have for Raveners? Is this a weird new segment in the stream? Tyranid Raveners. If you guys, let's see. Oh, okay, that's probably better. All right, so yeah, I've seen like these. These are like the hyper adaptive sculpts, I guess. They're very interesting. No way. There's $5. It's probably for like one. I don't know. These seem cool, but they seem weird, man. You know, these seem interesting as well. $42 for a 5-man. That's not like, I don't know. At that point, you're not really saving money, right? Oh, what a steal! $230 for painted ones. Hold up, you could get crab guys, folks. Get out of here, Google. You get crab guys. I think we found it, guys. These guys are laying down. I don't know. These are cool, right? Of course, just make sure your opponents are cool with like whatever, you know. You know. Yeah, I would shop around. Also, just use 40 mil bases and then just see what it's like. Okay, so he's saying if I remove an Exocrine and replace it with 2 squads of Hormagaunts, would it be better against World Eaters Tau and Admech? So I think these 3 armies are very, very different, right? Like Admech, you're -1 to hit all the time. They might be swarming the field, yada yada. World Eaters are very elite melee army. In Tau, they shoot, you know? So, like, my knee-jerk reaction is I think I would probably prefer the second Exocrine over the 2 Hormagaunts. I mean, I don't know. Like, Hormagaunts are good against World Eaters. But who knows, right? I really liked that list. I played it for a lot of times or for many games. I think I played like 10 games with it. It was really, really fun. I mean, you can try it, right? And I think he had a on how to play against these armies shown above. Eventually, I went with this list against World Eaters player, and his list considered a huge amount of 8 bounds exalt. Oh yeah, and also anger. Jeez, yeah, this guy. Did you tell him you were running Crusher Stampede? And he was like, okay, sweet. I'll just bring a whole bunch of Exalted 8-bound and stuff and Angron, because Angron isn't normally run. Destroyed both in first turn, so by the third turn, all of my army went down and only 1 Norn Emissary lived, 1 Tyrant effects, 1 Lictor, and that's all. What are the main strategies against these types of armies? Okay, so like World Eaters, you wanna dictate when they can charge you, right? And if you send everything, right, and they can put like 2 or 3 units into one of your units, that's not good. I think you definitely Maleceptor has to buddy with the Norns, and if you put 2 Norns in the center next to a Maleceptor, that's actually really, really good for you. That can be quite strong because the Maleceptor is going to give -1 to hit to everything coming in, and -1 to hit for melee armies is really, really, really tough, right? And then the Norn's just standing there menacingly, hopefully still having a 5-up Feeling of Pain and a 4-up Invul. That's pretty sweet. I also think that this Crusher Stampede list is deceptively difficult to play, right? So like if you're getting rid of the Hormagaunts, then play 5 games with it at least before kind of making any adjustments. And definitely reserve this Exocrine and bring him out only when it's necessary. But I think if you get rid of the second Exocrine, all of a sudden you actually run out of things that do damage. Like the Norns, we can say all day that they do damage, but we all know that they don't really do a whole lot of damage. I don't know. So like having 2 Exocrines for like either flank or something that can do really good damage into Exalted 8-bound, into regular 8-bound, and just picking up them for each failed save. That's really good. And the Maleceptor is tough as well because it's not, with 18-inch range, it is kind of tough for it to get where it needs to go. So that's, in my opinion, I think the second Exocrine is probably better than 2 Hormagaunts, but it comes down to a whole lot of things like playstyle, meta, and etc. Tau. So there's like 2 rules of thought against Tau. My buddy Kyle plays a whole bunch of Tau, and we've played this matchup actually, I think like 3 times. And most of the time, I just send my Norns out to the center and say, okay, activate your entire army into them. And I'm just betting you're going to bounce, and I'm going to have 3 Norns on my turn, right? So I think that's happened 2 out of the 3 games that we've played, where my Norns just sit there, they tank everything, and then my T-Fexes with Rupture Cannons step out the next turn, and then do their best to blow up a couple of Riptides or Devilfish or Hammerhead or whatever. There was one game we played at a tournament. It's the only time that this has happened, when I played Kyle with this specific list, but of course it happened at an RGT. And I stepped the Norns out, and he killed like 2 Norns and a Maleceptor in 1 turn. So that's pretty tough. So I would say don't do that, moving forward. And then what was the other one? Was Admech? Dude, I don't know. I think Admech is actually a terrible matchup for Crusher Stampede. Because they can swarm the board, right? And they can just, there's actually a chance that Admech out OCs Norn emissaries, right? Because they have a whole bunch of battle line, and they have abilities to knock down your objective control quite a bit. So I think that's actually a really bad matchup for you. And all the -1s to hit that Admech can give you in shooting as well as in melee, like Crusher Stampede doesn't have a whole lot of activations, and in those activations also does not have a whole lot of shots, right? So it's like a 2-pronged thing. Like, you don't have a whole lot of shots, and you don't have a whole lot of units to shoot. So anytime there's any kind of fluctuation with -1 to hit, it makes it way worse for you. So I don't know. Admech, I think, is a tough matchup for Crusher Stampede. That's what I would say. But the other 2, World Leaders really dictate where the matchup is going to be. Don't let them punch you first in a way that is going to be negative. Really try and draw them out, and then see if you can pop Rhinos with Rupture Cannons, and then shoot Maleceptors into like Karn's unit or whatever. And remember that if Karn's unit is in the Rhino, you kill the Rhino, they're battle shocked, so they cannot Blood Surge into you. So you can pop the Rhino, shoot something else into whatever was in the Rhino, and then boom, profit. But yeah, thanks, and good luck on your games, man. Thanks for submitting the list. Thanks for trying out the Crusher Stampede list. Tell me how the Hormagaunts feel, but I'm saying 2 Exocrines pretty much. Moving right along, Waffle. A couple of YouTube things real quick. Please make sure you've liked. That would be amazing. Liking the stream is free, and it helps out a whole bunch. And if you're interested in seeing 5 more army lists today, we do have a small super chat goal going on. We already have 2 of those 10 super chats done, because members count as double. So if you're interested in seeing a little bit more, consider supporting the channel, as well as supporting more army lists to be reviewed. This is Waffle. He's actually a pretty big community member in the Wednesday Night Warhammer Discord. So it's awesome to see him talking on the Army List Review Show. This is Subterranean Assault list, and his list is a little bit off from what I normally think about, but he's got a pretty good explanation here. We're gonna zip through it because it's quite a bit, but I'm interested to see. It's designed to do things differently to most sub-assault lists. I would agree, right? One of Sub-Assault's weaknesses is going second versus an army that can move up and flood most of the board. Yep. Often first turn, the opponent jails us while moving up and spreading out a bit, and they expand even more on the second turn, resulting in them denying us the ability to land anywhere outside our own deployment zone. When this happens, we're on back foot, and usually makes us lose. Yeah. Another big issue is the opponent trying to protect their most expensive units in Sub-Assault. We often want our Hyper Raft to kill bigger, tougher units, but the enemy screens us with chaff. What can often happen is that our guys murder the screens and get gunned down. Yeah. To aggressively use 3 rupture fexes to try and rattle the opponent. We're doing what is it called? We're doing like psyops. We're doing mental warfare. Make them either make mistakes or position defensively. Of course, the 3 rupture fexes also aim to murder some valuable enemy targets and restrict their movement. list also aims to prevent being locked into our deployment zone by having 6 units ready to deep strike after the opponent has had 1 turn. So that would be Vanguard Intellect. I don't know. Is it just Vanguard Intellect on Trigon? Or maybe you're counting the uppy downy. Like if they go, then you go. Oh, I see. New T-Fex data sheet ability. Attacks opponent's sanity. Yeah, that's amazing. The units are hyper-adapter routers joined with normal raveners. They will start on the board and get yoinked back to reserves. Yep. 3 units are Trigons. The one with Vanguard Intellect will be only model in reserves at the start of the game. The other 2 and you pick them up with a strat. Okay. 3 Rupture Fexes will aim to cause chaos. Yep. So you do like Tremor Sense will be useful even if we don't need to use it to yoink into reserves. It can be used to make sure our Rupture Fexes are the best. Yeah, that redeploying the Rupture Fexes does seem pretty good. Yeah. If the opponent goes first, we can Alpha Strike in our first turn as all 3 units of 10 Raveners, all 3 Trigons can arrive from Deep Strike and charge from turn 1. Yep. We don't always... are also burrs. This means they can arrive 9 inches away from enemy units and place a tunnel. Yeah. They don't use the Trigon 6 inch, and then the next 5 can arrive and place new tunnels, and arriving 6 inches away from enemies, stringing out. Yeah. So you can string out the tunnels. He's exactly correct. In the first battle round, we can only do that or use Swarming Assault to let a few units reroll charges. If you think it's the best reroll, or try for a 9. Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with you that maybe the 1 Trigon is better used as a Moloch, just to get like some mortals, and like its function, you don't really care if that what am I trying to say? You don't care if that Moloch doesn't make it into combat, right? Its ability is to just like do mortals. Yeah, dude, Waffle, it seems like you have a really good idea as to how this list goes. I'd be interested to see if you've gotten any games with it and see how it does. But obviously, like, you have a really good game plan. It seems great, you know, and I'd be interested to see if it works. Also, one thing, like, the 3 Rupture Cannons are pretty cool, but like, what if one of the Tyrannifexes was an acid spray one, just so that like if you have a whole bunch of chaff that you need to clear, that might be better. Ashton, I think I'm inclined to agree with you. But like the Trigon with Vanguard Intellect is actually pretty interesting. That's an interesting play. For 155 points, I'm not really sure what else we do. And for his specific strategy he's got here, I think that's pretty good. But if you're not going for like a specific strategy like Waffle has got, I think my rule of thumb is like Trigon Prime, then the rest of your stuff, right? But yeah, Waffle, thanks for the very interesting army list. And thanks for talking through your strategy. I think it's pretty interesting. I do really, really want to hear about your success or how that list has gone. I'd be interested to try it, especially like near the end of the edition. I think it's time to like do some goofy stuff and do some like alpha strikey stuff. Speaking of goofy stuff, well, not super goofy. Wednesday Night Warhammer. I don't know if you guys know, but the other channel has 10,000 subscribers now, and we're gonna do a celebration stream March 21st. 10,000 subscribers. We are going to stream for 10 hours. I'm bringing the Harridan. You can see him over here. We're going to start, I think, at like 9 or 10 in the morning. And I'm going to bring the Harridan Subterranean Assault list. If you haven't checked it out, it's a pretty sweet list. There's a pretty good chance that the Harridan's not lasting throughout the edition. So I'm going to play it March 21st. Go ahead and subscribe to Wednesday Night Warhammer and check out for when that stream pops up. We're going to do that. We're probably going to do like a Coliseum game as well. We need to get that going. And then we might do like a talk discussion thing just to break up the stream. And then to finish off the 10-hour stream, we're going to do another competitive Warhammer game of some type. But we might do a goofy spin to it. But yeah, March 21st. I think probably like 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be making a post about it. Anyways, Moving right along. I see one Harridan, but what about a second? Yeah. Yeah, I could see that galling. I just have been like even the Trigon Prime, I've been kind of unimpressed by. I just don't think the Trigon Prime, like the Trigon Prime on paper to me is really good. Hits on twos, reroll ones. You can give it sustain. Whole lot of stuff you can do with it, but I don't know. Elite Dark Assassin. Oh yeah, and what was his name? It was just Subterranean Assault. I think the first list is definitely the Love at First Bite. It's probably going to be the list winner today. Very cool. Elite Dark Assassin. Hey Jordan, I've been playing around with this list and been having pretty decent success. The T-Fexes and Exocrines add the much needed range support, while Neurotyrant adds the debuff to Shadows. Combining with the Brood's Gene Stealers unit, I can spread that -2 debuff pretty far. Von Ryan's Leapers are kind of just extra action monkeys and move blockers not meant to kill anything. Death Leaper's a cool model, but I feel like I should save the 20 points to get another Lictor. Yeah, probably. I really dislike Gargoyle models, so please don't at me for that. Take a look at this, Elite Dark Assassin. Boom. I added you. Anyways. Let me know what you think. Okay. His list name is There's Something Out There. Very interesting. Vanguard Onslaught. We have 3 Broodlords. A Death Leaper. Neurotyrant with Neuro Node. So we get the redeploy. I actually think Hunting Grounds is probably a better enhancement for the Neurotyrant. Hormagaunts, Biovore, 2 Exocrines, 30 Gene Stealers, Lictor, Neurolictor, Neurolictor, Tyrannofex, Von Ryans. This seems like a very, very balanced Vanguard Onslaught list. And that could either be like a really good thing or, I don't know, maybe it shouldn't be balanced. And maybe we just need to punch a whole bunch, you know? Not enough Lictors, too many Exocrines. I think there is too many shooting, you know? So I'm going to suggest something. I think we probably get rid of 1 Tyrannofex. Well, here's my opinion. And you can disagree with me if you like. That is totally fine. I think we get rid of both Tyrannofexes. And we put 1 squad of 6 Zoanthropes. And we have 200 points left over after that. Because you can hop around the Zoanthropes of the Neurotyrant. Like, you already have the Neurotyrant, so, you know, slam some Zoanthropes in there. And then I think Hunting Grounds is just 10 points. So then we have, like, 210 points to play with. I do agree that probably another Lictor. Or 210 points... We could get like another hitting unit, right? Like we got rid of one of the 3-man Von Ryan's Leapers. Bapa Booey. This is 280 points. And then we do like Tyranid Warriors with the Prime. With the Winged Prime. Oh, dang. Now I have to specify, right? And that's 215 points. And then that would bring us down to 65. Yeah, 65. Boom. And then you get your 4th Lictor. I would try that. I think this seems good, right? You have 30 Gene Stealers. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 Lictors. You have Von Ryans to do Von Ryan things. You have Zoanthropes to jump around the board. This list looks sweet, actually, with that. Oh, no, Battle Barn. Did you regret not having... This is so funny that you popped in. Literally, as we are basically talking about this. Yeah, so Battle Barn, here's what you should have done. I'm just messing with you. But, yeah, no guns can be tough against an army that's full of transports, man. This is what I would do, right? You don't have any Raveners, which does kind of make me sad, but Deathleaper, Neurotyrant, Hormagaunts, Biovore, Exocrine, 30 Gene Stealers, 2 Lictors, 2 Neurolictors, Von Ryans, Tyranid Prime, and Zoanthropes, right? Like, I actually kind of do like double Exocrine. I think double Exocrine is fine. Yeah, so just in case if you're playing against, like, I don't know, like Drukhari or something. That's funny. Oh, did you really? You just put them back in? Yeah. I don't know. It's just like Exocrines are just stupid good, right? Like there's no... It's just like, okay, I guess we just run Exocrines. I would be really interested to see if in 11th edition, they just flip the entire codex. They're like, okay, Exocrines are not as good anymore. I don't think they will. I think, honestly, a lot of stuff is going to stay the same, and I think a couple of units might get huge buffs. That's what I would guess. Yeah. You know. Anyways. Bee-eating bird. This next, we've got 1, 2, 3. 3 lists. Awesome. Very cool. Here we go. Hey, Jordan. I am trying to make a somewhat counter Catan list. Good luck. Good luck. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts on this. I'm thinking about replacing Von Ryans with a Deathleaper or a Neurolictor, but I don't have those models yet. The main idea is for the warriors to go in after everything else has shot at the Catan and pop surprise assault strat, meaning they hit on 2. Dang, a whole lot of Vanguard onslaught. And then possibly wound on 4s rerolling depending on battle shock. Also, if they don't kill it, just swarm objective. It's on with Hormagaunts. Let's do a poll. What are we thinking that I should play tomorrow? Oh, hold on. Maybe I have to go to this. Maybe I have to go here. Start a poll. Let's see. Do we do Vanguard Onslaught? Or do we do Subterranean? Or Swarm. I'm giving you 3 options, chat. You let me know what you would like to see on Wednesday night Warhammer tomorrow night. Meaning a hit on 2s. Yep. Possibly wounding on 4s depending on battle shock. Yeah, dude. I think warriors with surprise assault is very sweet. Also, if they don't kill it, just swarm objective. It's on with Hormagaunts to out OC. All right, let's take a look. We've got a Winged Hive Tyrant, Neuronode on the Broodlord, Chameleonic on the Winged Hive Tyrant. Oh, here are all the enhancements. Sorry, when it's in this format, I always forget. Broodlord, 20 points with the Neuronode. It's fine, right? 5 Hyper Adaptives. Winged Hive Tyrant with Chameleonic. Oh, it's 20 points. Okay, so that list that I made was incorrect up there. Sorry. Winged Tyranid Prime with Hunting Grounds. Then we have 4 Hormagaunt squads. Holy guacamole. Biovore, 1 Exocrine, 1 Gene Stealer unit, 1 Lictor, 1 Norn, 5 Raveners, 6 Warriors, 1 Tyranofex, Von Ryans. Do we have a Neurotyrant up here? No, we do not. No, we do not. All right, so I think we probably drop a couple of things, right? Like I don't think we need. We have 1 Lictor. Like I think we do something like drop. I want to drop like. Okay, let's stick with dropping 2 Hormagaunts, right? And we have 130 points after that. And we have Rupture Cannon. Let's see, what do I want to... I think I'm going to vote for myself, Subterranean Assault. Oh, it looks like Vanguard Onslaught is like taken away. Goodness gracious. Okay, probably Vanguard then. The Norn Emissary is really cool, but like... I don't know. in Vanguard Onslaught, I just don't think it gets supported enough, right? Like I think it's like so many points that we could put elsewhere. See if you had any. Had any thoughts on it? Yeah. And you're trying to be anti-Catan. I think Norn Emissary is tough into anti-Catan. Like I think Catans just do a really good job of just not caring about the Norns. Like, yes, you out OC the Catan, but all right. So I would drop the Von Ryans and make another Lictor. Okay. What you can do is buy a 50 millimeter base and then put one of your Von Ryans, the one that is painted the prettiest, and put it on the base. And then tell your opponent, here, this is a Lictor. And your opponent will be like, yeah, it looks like a Lictor to me. And you'll be fine. And then with that, after you, I forget what, we dropped 2 Hormigaunt squads. Put a second Exocrine in, as Battle Barn Eddie has just said. I think that's Eddie. And then go from there. And then if you're going anti-Catan, right? Like, I think the OC bomb of Hormagaunts is pretty good. I think you are probably better off with like another one of the Tyranid Warrior squads. Also, like Gene Stealers are pretty good. Gene Stealers are all right into them, right? I think you probably want at least 2 squads of Gene Stealers. And they're 80, so that's 220 points. So you have 40 points left over. 40 points. You basically just want another squad of Gene Stealers, right? Like, I think when you're doing Vanguard Onslaught, I think you start with 20 Gene Stealers and like do what we did above, basically. And I'm just gonna copy this Broodlord. Beep. Bop. This is 80 points. Cool. We have 40 points left over. And you also have a Tyrannifex. So if you want to go more heavily into the anti-Catan, then I think like this is a pretty good place to do. Like you drop the Tyrannifex. I don't think Tyrannifexes are actually good into Catan. And then you just get another one of the Warrior Squad, right? So that's 65. So that's 215. Meaning you have 25 points. And then I think you probably just upgrade one of these Hormagaunts into a Gargoyle squad. And you have 5 points left over and you're fine. That's what I would do, right? Like, I do think that double Exocrine is probably a necessary evil that you want to have at this point. And go from there. All right, last 2 lists, and then I think I'm gonna what is the poll? What's our poll at? Ooh, Subterranean. After this, it does not look like we're gonna reach our super chat goal today, which is totally fine. So at the end, after these 2 lists, I will make a list out of whatever chat has voted on. So if you haven't voted, use your vote. Your vote counts. And you haven't gotten a name yet, so you can't super chat? Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. I think the Swarm list will absolutely do well against Catan. I don't play Swarm too much because that's just not the playstyle that I like too much. I do have 60 Termagants that are ready to be painted, but I think like 80 Termagants in Invasion Fleet actually wrecks Catan. Like, honestly. You don't kill anything, but you score way more points than them. Second to last list is... let's go try and reload. Close the browser and rejoin us or something. I don't know. Sometimes YouTube's weird. Clembot10. Hey, Jordan. Love your vids and thanks for all the help. I only started collecting and playing last year, so my forces most certainly contain the old Combat Troll and Xmas box. Those are 2 good boxes to start with. No Gene Stealers or Broodlord, but hoping Raveners and Screamer have enough damage and melee to cover. Maybe. As you can tell, I like big bugs. He cannot lie either, folks. So I'm considering a Crusher Stampede list as well that is very similar but also runs a Psychophage. Initially was running 2 lictors, but with leftover points and synergy with Screamer, I thought of upgrading to a Neurolictor. Don't have the model yet. Yeah, but just run the Lictor as a Neurolictor. Most people won't care, honestly. We are Invasion Fleet. We have a We have a Hive Tyrant with Adaptive Biology. Never leave home without him. We have a Neuro Tyrant. 2 Hormigaunt squads. Biovore, Exocrine, Lictor, Maleceptor, Neurolictor, Norn Emissary, 5 Raveners, a Screamer Killer, Tyranid effects. Ashton Tucker is finishing his 3rd Hierophant. He's got 3 of them. What's your excuse, guys? It's crazy. That's wild, Ashton. Okay. So this list is good, right? I think this list is great. Especially as like an expanding collection. Do I think Crusher Stampede is better for this? No. I do not think so. I think this is cool, man. I think this is a good list. I would play a bunch of games with this. And then just figure it out. Things to buy though, like if I was to give you a couple of ideas, like I think you already said it, but in my opinion, Gene Stealers are one of our best units. Like I would do Gene Stealers and Broodlord. Gargoyles. Oh gosh. What the heck just happened? That was crazy. I must have hit a hotkey that I had no idea about, and it just yeeted me all the way to the top. Anyways, Gargoyles. You have most everything else, like for a standard. Like you even have a Maleceptor. That's pretty sweet. And for the Gene Stealers, like I would probably end up dropping the Norn for Gene Stealers, and then get hyper adaptives, right? But also, like, there's another school of thought. Just like play this list until 11th edition. Play this list, paint it up, make it look cool, get comfortable playing this list, and then when 11th edition comes out, see what it's out there, and then go from there. Or you can do the crazy thought process, which is what I have every single time a new edition is about to roll around. You start a new army and paint a whole bunch of stuff. Start a Gene Stealer cult, folks. It's pretty sweet. But I don't know, man. This is a good start. Like I think the Screamer Killer and the Raveners seem like a little bit interesting. If you had hyper adaptives to go with the Raveners, I think that's preferred. And let me know how the Norn has been. I think a Singleton, Norn, and Invasion Fleet can be good, but also can be a huge point sink that you oftentimes don't need. Moving right along, our last list before I make a list to stream tomorrow night. It'll be on Wednesday Night Warhammer. Go ahead and look at my mug. Representing. Central Astro. He says, "Hi Jordan, great to have you back. Love the reviews and streams. I decided to buy 3 more Norns. Want to know what you think of this insane list. Thanks again, pal. Keep up the great work. I appreciate it. Fear me, I Norn better. Oh, and it's Assimilation Swarm. Wow. So we've got a Winged Hive Tyrant with Parasitic Biomorphology. I think you probably want Biophagic Flow for this, right? It's probably better. No battle line. He's got 1, 2, 3 Norn Assimilators, 3 Norn Emissaries, Pyrovore, Ripper Swarm. No notes, dude. Like, what do you want me to say? All I can think of is you're cooler than me, right? I don't think Parasitic Biomorphology does anything for you, right? Isn't that the one where you get like +1 strength or something? But yeah, each Norn gets paired up with a Norn, and then you just walk onto the objectives. And then the Norn emissaries can get healed by Norn assimilators. And you have OC 30 on every single mid-board objective. Pyrovores screen out your backfield. Ripper Swarm does whatever it wants. List name, I hope I don't draw an action secondary. Hey, I've cleansed with a Norn before. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, dude. I don't know, Central Astro. This is definitely, if you're playing 6 Norns in Assimilation Swarm, this is the list you're playing, basically, man. So like it's perfection. There's no comments. This is what you run, right? The only thing is like you shake your fist at the sky for the Norn Assimilator being more expensive than the Norn Emissary the entire edition. I shouldn't say that, right? Because you know what Games Workshop's response would be? They would be like, okay, cool. We're gonna nerf the Norn Emissary, so it's 280 points. That's definitely what they would say. All right, folks, you got 5 seconds to finish voting on the poll, and then we're gonna make a list together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look, I've been painting. I bought some Aberrants. It's the first model GSC that I actually like purchased and bought. This is a terrible way to show them off. But it's basically like the same scheme as my Tyranids. I'm pretty happy with them. I gotta pick out some details and add a shade and base, of course. But dude, GSC models are actually like really cool, man. And Final Day is probably the way that I'll be playing the game for the rest of the edition, unless I'm streaming or something. But my competitive games will be that. All right, let's take a look at this poll. Who won? Ooh, so close. All right, so Subterranean Assault. Dismiss poll. Let me pull up new recruit. We're going to make a list. Go ahead and chat. Tell me things you want to see in this Subterranean Assault list. Tomorrow night, we're going to go up against sisters of some kind. And I have most things, so whatever you want to see. We're not going to be doing anything crazy. I probably want to keep it as competitive as possible. Playing against Chase, he's a pretty competitive guy. Yeah, Behemoth, GSC. Let's go. Let's see if we can drag. Oh, no, we want to do control. No, sorry, wrong hotkey. It's Alt. Let's do that. Okay. Cool. Here we are on new recruit. Okay, so we're Subterranean Assault. So I think like the standard start for Subterranean Assault is we do a Trigon, of course. Trigon, and then we do 2 Raveners. I think that's pretty much the start. Upgrade him to a character. Enhancements. Trigon Prime. Double Neuro +6. Man, he did hit me with something that I actually don't have ready to go. So sorry, I cannot bring that. But I agree with you. I think we include 1 Neuro Tyrant, right? Boom. Zoanthropes. What's your guys' opinion on Maliceptors? I think I really like Maliceptors in the list. Let's see. I think I want 2 Lictors. What kind of things do we want to bring out of the tunnel? Do we want a hyper adaptive squad? Could. That would be good. Wing type Tyrant is good as well. Maliceptor ×2. Let's do it. See what happens. Beep bop. Do we want 1 or 2 Tyrant effects? Yeah, we could do Old One Eye. I did play Old One Eye one time in Subterranean Assault. do think it becomes to be too many points. I mean, we have 500 points left over. Let's see. I still need to throw on a Biovore. What do we think, chat? Do we like Old One Eye? And this? Just one Carnifex? Why just one Carnifex? Because you just get the rerolls? It's only 90 points. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's so, like, if you're doing one Carnifex, I'm always like, okay, well, we do one, just do the other, you know? But let's see. If we get into a crunch here, we probably want some kind of chaff. Oh, we could do... What if we don't do Lictors and we do, like, the Screamer Killer? Do we like that? I feel like I've made this before, and it did kind of okay. But I failed all my 6-inch charges, and then I was very, very sad. Where's the Screamer Killer? How do we feel about Screamer Killers? We do 2 Screamer Killers, 2 Neurolictors. We only have 175 points left over. So this would be 2 Raveners. And Trigon, Neurotyrant. So we only have 2 Raveners. And we could do Hyperdaptives there. But then we do get into the point where we don't have enough chaff. So maybe we go back to what... yeah, Screamer plus Neurolictor is a pretty cute combo. I agree. There we go. Hyperdaptives. So we have 10 points left over. I don't know. Are Screamer Killers worth it? Are they... This is a lot of beef, actually. We could, if we dropped... If we dropped one of the Carnifexes... we could get... How many points would that? That would be 100 points. We could get like Neurogons and 45 Neurogons and Barbgons. That sounds bad to me. Maybe we don't do Hyperdaptives. Maybe we don't do that. 175. It just seems like so many points. I don't know. Old One Eye seems fun, but I mean, it's the end of the edition. Who cares, right? We can just mess around a little bit. I think I like a squad of Neurogons. I have 130 points left over. So we can get 2 Hormogon squads. Boom. Are we good with that? So it's Old One Eye, Neurotyrant Trigon, 2 Hormogons Biovore, Neurogons, 2 Neurolictors, 2x5 Raveners. I see what you're saying. So just 1. Mouseceptor, Screamer Killer. They were at 90 points. Yeah, you are right. The zones do want enfilading. So do we scrap Old One Eye at this point? Because then we could get 230 points. Deathleaper? Deathleaper's cool. Ooh, Deathleaper is actually kind of cool with the Battle Shock shenanigans, right? So if we send him out, Deathleaper is next to whatever the Screamer Killers want to scream at. -2 to their Battle Shock check. And get them. I'm worried that the Carnifexes just don't really... I'm worried they don't do too much for us. See, anti-tank... We also don't have any Exocrines. I think Exocrines would be good as well. Tale as old as time. Use Carnifex. Scrap to save points. Yeah. This is tough. Man, it's sad. It's sad to get rid of the old One Eye. Like things we're worried about. I guess we're worried about. We could lean into the Battle Shock. I feel like we've kind of leaned into the Battle Shock. Like Screamer Killer, Neurolictor, Neurotyrant's there, Death Leaper. Death Leaper is one of my favorite. I love Death Leaper. He's so cool, man. Unfortunately, I only have 2 Screamer Killers, which is wild that I only have 2 Screamer Killers, but I do only have 2 Screamer Killers. Let's see. I do kind of like the idea of an Exocrine, just as like some side shooting. I love my current effects, but hitting on 4s is rough. Yeah, okay. So him saying that they hit on 4s and reminding me that makes me not want to run Carnifexes. So sorry. Sorry, chat, if you were really excited about Carnifexes. And then I feel like we just want to get as much value out. 250 points. I mean, we could slam Swarmlord in here. Man. Should we just slam Swarmlord in here? Let's do it, folks. Let's do it. Did I already add him? Oh, yeah, Swarmlord. And then we have 200 points left over. Oh, yeah, I dropped the Maliceptor because my train of thought was, like, ahead of myself. Did I add the Exocrine yet? Swarmlord and Tyrant Guard is spicy, dude. Let's see what that looks like. I have 40 points left over. I would want to have Tyrant effects. I already have Neurogants. I have 40 points. Should I just do double Gargoyles? Or, so here's the thing. You guys let me know if you want to see Tyrant Guard. We can, I hope I still have my Tyrant Guard. Sure you do. I would just have to look for them. We could do Tyrant Guard, or like we could drop the Tyrant Guard and use the last 40 points for a Rupture effects. Yeah, I think Old One Eye, when you try to use him in a list, he always ends up like you always end up doing exactly what we just did. Like we're like, let's run Old One Eye, and then we look at the list and we're like, are we actually running Old One Eye? And it kind of goes from there, right? So do we want Tyrant Guard, and like we could finagle 2 Gargoyle squads, or do we drop the Tyrant Guard and just get a Tyrant effect with Rupture Cannon? I think the T-Effects with Rupture Cannon might be more competitive. I don't think Tyrant Guard actually give you anything. I think I'm going to drop the Tyrant Guard and do Tyrant effects, unless people object in chat. I think that's better. Yeah. Yes, you can bring the T-Guard with tunnels, but I don't know. I think I'm going to do Tyrant effects with Rupture Cannon. Sweet. All right, everybody's saying T-Effects. All right, so the list. Death Leaper, Swarmlord, Neurotyrant, Trigon with the Trigon Prime, 2x10 Hormagaunts, Biovore. They do not regen, but you can heal them through tunnels. So that's not. 11 Neurogons, 2 screener backfield, Neurolictor. Do we even need these to screener backfield? I guess they're just kind of good though. We can also just push them out as screens. 2x5 Raveners, 6 Zoanthropes and Maliceptor, 2 Screamer Killers, a Tyrant effects. I think Rapture effects is rather essential. It's the only thing that can kill an average transport and shooting. I agree. We don't have things that I'm missing out on. Like we don't have an Exocrine would be cool, just as like an initial thing to clear screens and stuff. But We do have Maleceptors. We do have stuff too. All right, I'm sending it. Let's chat snakes. Beautiful. That's what I'll bring tomorrow night on Wednesday Night Warhammer. Please check it out. It's going to be Tyranids versus Sisters. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. Thank you for members and supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please like the stream before we end it over here, and continue to have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for all the support. And then I will see you later. Goodbye.